Yeah, I'd like to tell you that we really like used all the sophistication that the software has available, but we didn't. Um, the, the primary users were myself and one other engineer, and neither of us had worked with the latest offering of Fusion, which is this concept of a team. And we were thinking about implementing that, which sounds really awesome. But we just were like, you know what, we can probably, since we're a small enough group, we can do it without that. So all we simply did was one person owned the project and gave access to others to the project. And then we took advantage of the version control, which is just built into Fusion. So if one person modifies a component, it'll get a, whenever they save it, it'll get a new version. And you can even comment in there saying, well, I did this to it, or I did that. So if necessary, you could kind of roll back. You could go backwards if need be, if you changed your mind. Um, so that's like really the only real sophistication we did with Fusion, but it's quite adequate and probably would be, I would imagine, even for your students. Um, some of the other stuff that you don't get if you don't use Teams is just you need to manage it a little bit. Like, and it's just as common sense. Like, Eric's going to work on valve A today. That's his job, and we know this because it's in my sprint work. Uh, so we've laid out who does what in our sprint backlog. Key aspect of this is that. And Eric's going to work on component A. He kind of owns that. He needs to tell us the sprint backlog when he's done that he's completed that. And so others can reference that and say, oh, okay, Eric's done. They can now get a copy of that or look at it or do something with it and feel confident that it's good to go. So those two things together pretty well helped you manage the workflow. Pretty
Okay.
well, too.